Hey, what's up, players? This is Hall of Famer Teddy Long, and right now we're getting ready to have a six-pack challenge match with Potsy and Tino on the Big Podcast Show. Holla at a player.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Pots and Pants Network brings to you its tag team champions of the world, the Potsy and Tino Show. That's right. Tino Gray, Rob Potsy Pochak. We always, every week, we bring this show to you. But I want to go ahead and point out that our theme song is always brought to you by Adam's House Cat. And it's available on iTunes for 99 cents. Tino
Barrett.
Chris Barrett's already in the audience.
Yes, he said howdy, folks.
So we want to go ahead and say thank you to him. Wasn't it last week that was like his birthday?
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and repeat that this week. But before we really go into anything, I want to ask what's up with you.
What's up with me? I had a great week.
I'm glad you did.
Getting the facilitating of the classes down, getting that down and packed. The new lady or new girl's gonna be taking my place at the front desk. Starts next Monday, and so I'll probably train with her. And then next Thursday, I think that's my last official day in the office. Then I officially will be working from home. Yeah, I'm excited about that shit.
Some of the fun shit going on. I hear that.
This past Saturday went to Hickory and did my show. That was awesome. Had a good time. It was cold as hell. Cold as hell up there. I'm like, damn, it was cold here, but that's up towards the mountains. It was cold as fuck for no reason.
Now when like you were headed to the mountains though, like you and I actually were on the phone together.
Yes.
And it was all about like
you were in traffic. You bitch about being in traffic.
Dude, I literally stopped. When like Google was sitting there telling me that I had like an 8-minute stop or whatever.
Yeah.
How long did it take? Like
forever. It was like 15. I was on the phone for good. We were on the phone. We were on the phone for almost an hour, and finally, I'm like, look, I gotta pull over and pee and get something to eat.
and at that time, I was like, oh shit, it looks like it's moving.
Yeah, it finally started moving after an hour.
Yeah, it was fucking nuts, man. Fucking crazy. Like just a crazy amount of like, and all because I think there was a dusting of just a white dusting of snow for Fayetteville. And that's what caused everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people get ridiculous. They all freak out. And thank God the news. I was reading the news this past weekend. They were like, the last week going into last weekend, they were like, yes, it's going to snow. He said, you don't have to worry about getting snow shovels, and you don't rush out to the stores to buy all the bread and milk. They actually said this in the news.
Well, that's because everybody sits there and makes like milk and bread sandwiches. I don't even know what the fuck. I don't
understand what the fuck it is with the milk.
Yeah, like. So I work with a bunch of people from Indiana because my job actually has places in Durham, Indiana, and San Diego, right? So like Indiana right now is getting that weird, like it's 38 degrees and what do we do with the weather? So they're all like, oh, we got to go to the store and buy the milk, the cheese, the bread, and and it's like, oh, so you guys are just making like you're making the sandwiches that everybody in North Carolina talks about, the milk and bread sandwiches, because like we're all like, why does everybody buy all the milk and bread? Like, there's no reason.
I don't know.
But they call it milk and bread sandwiches. So of course I sit there and I post milk and bread sandwiches, ha ha ha, to like my coworkers, and every one of my coworkers is like, Rob, that's not funny. Like nobody eats milk and bread sandwiches, and I'm like, you guys just don't understand. You know what I mean? Like you really don't
You
understand
don't
what they are.
understand. Like I don't know if they're making like French toast.
Yeah, they're not. They're
I'm
not.
saying nothing here, French toast. I don't know why you need.
But you know what I mean. They're not.
Yeah.
Well, in New England back in the day, if you didn't get the milk and the bread, you could die. Well, Chris Barrett, I believe that, but I mean, we're 200 years past all of that. So. I don't even know what to say to that. But Tino, I gotta ask a simple question. I ask it every fucking week. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Boom. What's up with you?
I already did that. I did about never working from home, went and played Hickory, drove home.
That's it? That's all you got going on?
Yeah, I already did that.
Well, I got more going on than that.
What you got?
I mean, I got the new Junior High Horrors comic book coming out, Karate Kai. If I had to guess, technically will be in stores on February 16th. And I also have The Mandalorian, which is actually coming out on, this one is official February 9th.
Sweet.
And you know, you sit there and you sing professionally.
Yes.
So you go out and you get paid to do that awesome thing that you do. It always reminds me of the Tom Hanks movie, Do That Thing You Do.
Yeah.
You know, and like you actually go out and do that thing you do, right?
Right.
I've had a lot going on in my personal life.
Mm-hmm.
Positive, negative, whatever. Like I've had a lot going on positively in my personal life. Like I've got 2 comic books coming out in like the next couple weeks. The people watching this show right now, if you're not going out and buying my comic book, I don't know why. Like why are you watching us and not buying my comic book? But
finish the show and then go buy the comic book.
Wait, why not?
I said finish watching this and then go buy the comic book.
No, you know what? Like you can open up a second. You know, you can open up another app or whatever. I don't even care. But I've got 2 comic books coming out in the next couple of weeks, and I'm really proud of them. I'm really, really proud of Mandalorian. Like a lot of people don't realize how much work went into that comic book. I'd been working on that book for like 2 years to try to find an artist to draw it and everything else, and Troy Dongara out of Virginia actually drew it. So there's a possibility of a couple signings between him and me, like us actually getting together and actually doing signings. The problem is that like we can't seem to figure out timing and everything else to make all that work. But worst case scenario, if people go to keenspot.com or keenspotshop.com and then look up Mandalorian, they can actually get a signed copy from me and Troy. They just have to order it and everything else. And then, like, I'll sign the copies. I'll send them to Troy. Troy will sign the copies. Troy will then send them out. We were hoping to actually get to do some signings together, but we're both adults. We both have daytime jobs and everything else, so we can't necessarily do that. But But yeah, so it's one of those things that like we want to do that and everything else. And it just, I don't know, it kind of leaves us in a situation where like everybody that wants the signed copies, like as long as you get your signed copies in by like the end of this week, we'll know who they are so that I can sit there and send the copies to Troy. Troy can then send the copies out, after he signs them and everything else. But I want to remind everybody that what we decided on was for everybody that decides they want a signed copy. So if you want a signed copy by me and by Troy, and it could be like the regular cover, or you could ask for one of the other covers. If for any reason you did that, you had the opportunity to actually win a signed copy that was a not just signed copy, but also like a sketched copy from one of us. So we wanted to make sure that everybody knew that that was still available, that was still an option. And if you haven't gone to keenspotshop.com and looked up The Mandalorian, please do go ahead and do that, and you'll you've got a very good chance of actually getting a sketch cover from either myself or from Troy, the artist of the book. Tino, we got some comments out there from like Justin saying thing called money. We got another comment from Chris Barrett saying, "Can I open another tab if I really have to?"
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So, where do you want to start, Tino?
I don't know. You want to start? A lot happened last week, and we were just talking off
Would
air.
the ideal spot be NXT?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So NXT 2.0. Anything that you really want to bring out from that?
Just the fact that I called, it's going to be my boy Cameron Grimes going for the gold. He's going to be facing. He won the #1 contendership against Tony D, whatever dude's name is, to face Carmelo
Tony
Hayes.
D'Angelo.
Yep, to face Carmelo Hayes for the North American Championship, and I do believe that they're going to give it to Grime, my boy Grimy.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. I'm interested to see too, Io Shirai, since her partner is down, if she's going to find another partner to enter the Dusty Rhodes Women's Classic, or if she's going to just going to get called up to the main brand.
So she's apparently supposed to be in the Dusty Rhodes Classic and have a partner.
Yeah, so I wonder who it's going to be.
And I don't know if you noticed on Twitter, our buddy Jason
Ingram,
Blitzball champ has posted on Instagram that he doesn't think that Io Shirai needs to be part of that tag team Dusty Rhodes Classic, and I
wants Oscar's grandma to be in it.
So what makes it really funny, Tino, is that like Jason posted his comment and I posted a reply that was like, Jason, you didn't answer the question, because the question was who should be Io Shirai's tag team partner, and Jason wrote back, she shouldn't be in this tournament. So I wrote back, like I said, you didn't answer the question. And then he replied, Rob, you know better than me that she doesn't need to prove anything and doesn't need to be in this tournament. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, but it's an NXT tag team tournament for women. Maybe and I didn't say this to Jason at the time, so if Jason's out there and he's listening, I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. What if they bring in Asumi Sakai? No, I'm kidding. No Asumi Sakai. But what if no murder grandma? No murder grandma. But what if they brought in
murder grandma?
Another. Come on! That was awesome. But what if they actually brought in a Japanese woman that like hadn't really gotten all like that like hype yet, but yet the Japanese wrestlers are sitting there going, "This chick is gold." You know what I mean? Like adding her to an Io Shirai.
Who's the one that went back to Japan that's coming back? They were doing the promos that she's coming back. God, who was that?
I don't know.
It was the young Japanese lady. Yeah, but I'll think.
But you know what I mean? You get what I mean.
Yeah.
So, I haven't been taking a look at the chat. Sorry, Chris Barrett says
Yeah, Barrett said Kevin Dunn should be Io's partner. Then he said Gail Kim. So I just haven't been reading them to you.
Yeah. Chris Barrett, thank you so much for being in the chat. And we already wished you a happy birthday a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know what you do for your birthday, sir.
Yeah, what did you do? Chris Barrett, go ahead and put it in the chat. What did you do for your birthday?
If you remember. But then they were trying to push that young girl to be Big Mommy Cool's partner, the skateboard chick, and Big Mommy Cool. I don't think that's going to happen. And it might. I think my favorite, not my favorite tag team, but the tag team that made me pop this past week was the two young guys, and I can't remember their names. And they were like they were calling them like the bracket busters. Just two nunning dudes that beat, and they were sitting there and they're doing their promo. And one dude didn't have a shirt on. He goes, "Yeah, you're gonna be a bad influence on me." And I was like, "Yeah." And they start popping his pecs. And Carter goes, "Where is your shirt?" That thing made me pop. He's like, "Where is your shirt?" Oh man.
You know what's funny about that is like if you and I were actually hanging out at a wrestling convention or whatever, that would be a statement that would actually happen between the two of us.
Yeah, where is your shirt?
Where the fuck is your shirt? Yeah, like yeah, it'd be like because I'd be like, and you'd be like, Rob, seriously, we're getting ready to go meet Sting. Where the fuck is your shirt?
Unless you want him to chop your ass.
And I'd be like, do it. You know, that way, like by the end of the night, my entire chest would just be red, you know? Hey, I didn't actually get to really talk about what's up with me, which is fun, you know, like we talked about what's up with you. You said that, you know, you went through your job, did all that stuff and everything else. I have 2 comic books coming out.
You said
over the next couple weeks.
You said that.
And we'll probably talk about it next week. We'll probably talk about it the week after. But I mean, literally, I've got the Mangolorian, the obvious parody of Mandalorian coming out. Anybody who likes anything Star Wars should be like blown away by this. I mean, like, Tino, you've read it, right?
Yes.
And what did you think?
I can't wait for it to come out. It was awesome. It was awesome. It's funny. Like I said, the characters, it's just the names you came up with. The whole thing is just hilarious.
And I mean, like, it doesn't take a lot to make fun of the Star Wars universe, but to do it in a way that actually makes it fun and enjoyable, and everybody sits there and goes, "Man, I wish I'd made that joke too." Like, it really, I mean, it comes out February 9th, folks. So like if you have the opportunity to go to your local comic book shop and ask for a copy of the Mangolorian, I would highly recommend it. On top of that,
Chris Bear's
Junior High
talking to you.
Horrors Karate Kai comes out like a week after that. Like, and we weren't even sure. So interestingly enough, Karate Kai Junior High Horrors was supposed to come out a month before. And because our printer actually did not have paper because of this whole COVID, like paper shortage,
Right.
you know, it all started with like toilet paper shortage. Now it's actually just a paper shortage. We were told that, hey, we got enough paper to print like the books that are going to ship to the comic shops. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. What does that mean? And it basically meant you're not going to get any like comp copies to go to like comic shops locally and try to sign them or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? And then, like 3 days later, Tino, the book showed up on my house. They literally showed up at my house. So hold on, I'll be right back. I want to show everybody.
Uh-oh. Oh, well, he's going, yes, Barrett, I know. It was just funny. But he's not paying any attention, so he has not read the comment yet.
I am not paying any attention to Chris Barrett.
Did you read the comment?
No.
Yeah, you need to go back and read the comment.
What does this comment say? Did he already order it?
No, he said Rob's gotten to the cooking sherry again. And then he said he's poking fun at Rob.
No, if we really want to go into what's going on with Rob, we can. But so any shop that actually ordered 5 copies of The Mandalorian will see a single copy of this, which is by the Junior High Horrors artist Eric Kent. But here's the main cover.
Yes.
And I have both. And I actually have both comics in stock at my house right now. I was very impressed that I actually got them. But Chris Barrett, I've had a lot going on in my personal life. So I'm not gonna sit there and say what's going on or whatever. I mean, if Tino really geez, we got a lot of comments in here, but what's in the box? I've got about 120 copies of different versions of The Mandalorian, and I've got about 70 copies of what's going on with Junior High Horrors. Based on all of that.
All right, so this then let's do this. Because apparently
what?
I know what's going on with you, and I see it in your face, and I know you're upset. So let's go ahead and do this, and then we'll do the Royal Rumble.
Do you want to talk about it?
Well, yeah, we'll go ahead and just get it out, and then we'll do the Royal Rumble if we have time.
Do you think that's a good episode of the show? I do want to talk about one more thing that's going to be like a big time something that we need to talk about.
All right. Because
I posted it on Facebook already, Tino. I did not post it on all my other socials. And it's massive. Okay? It's massive. My brother-in-law, Shane. You know Shane.
Yeah.
To everyone else, my brother-in-law, Shane, besides Tino, is probably like my best friend in the world. And he started watching a show called Hot Ones.
Hot Ones. I don't think you told me about that one yet.
All right. So Hot Ones is a YouTube television show that's gone on for over 9 seasons now.
Oh, shit.
Which is all about a guy interviewing his local contestants, which are all like super high praise, like Academy Award winning actors, and telling them that they need to eat hot wings as they talk to him, right?
Bear says the hot sauce interview show.
Exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and post right now to the world that I will be taking the challenge.
What?
And Tino, I want you to be there.
Where? When? Where?
February 18th. It is
Where's
a
it going to be?
Friday night
Oh, okay. That's Friday night. Where?
at my sister's house. And I want to do a Potsy and Tino episode of Hot Ones.
So he going to be interviewing you, or is it something you film and send it to him?
So I've already decided, and everybody out there listening, watching, everything else, we will be live streaming.
No, what I'm saying, I thought I'm confused. If it's a show, it's the show interviewing.
We're doing it ourselves.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We bought so Shane bought the 10 wings sauces that they actually offer right now.
And you're gonna do it?
I told Shane, just like I did last year when I said I will jump in the ocean in freezing cold weather for the I said I will do it.
Is he gonna do it too, or just you?
Oh no, we're getting a group of people to do it.
Who else is doing it?
Fubar, my nephew Drew. Like we'll get a full stack of, and Chris Edge is now invited. So my point is this: February 18th. I want you there, Tino. I want you doing this with me because like I know I'm gonna struggle with it.
I'm not eating hot shit, but I'll be there and cheer
No. Don't say no.
You know Tino doesn't do hot shit.
Tino, we got to do this.
This
is one of those things that will actually get followers on the YouTube show.
Yeah, the mouse on your
bike. Because let me tell you, let me straight up tell you right now. I literally told my brother-in-law Shane, I said, I am not doing this under any circumstance unless I can live stream it on the Potsy and Tino show.
God, how are we all going to be on the same camera at the same time?
I will set up the actual camera, hook it up to the laptop, and we will be on camera because we'll do it from like the dining room at my sister's house. You've been in there.
Okay. Yeah.
So I will hook up the camera. We'll all be on camera, and we will have to do the wings. Now, at the same time, I do want to make it special. I want to make it something where we actually ask questions that are like questions that are necessary to ask based on what we do in our normal lives or what we've done special, or like you as a musician, like talking about what you do out there when you go on shows, just like what made me decide to be a comic book writer and artist and everything. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I want to do all that, but we will be broadcasting live on YouTube like we do now, and at the same time broadcasting live on TikTok Live.
Okay.
Which, by the way, I've already told you, next time you are actually here, we will broadcast live from the way that we normally do, and we will broadcast live from TikTok Live.
Cool.
But I really think it would be cool to have you and me both try to get through the 10 wings. Because I know, dude, you can sit there and say I don't do spicy. I don't. Like the last time I tried to do anything super spicy. I was crying and everything else, and yet I still made it through. I just and remember, I've actually won a wing eating contest.
Mm-hmm.
Like by eating as many of the hottest wings that they actually had to offer as fast as possible. I won one of those. I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm just trying to actually get really fun content, and and you can't sit there and say that that wouldn't be awesome content for the Potsy and Tino show.
I like Chris Barrett's last comment.
If Tino doesn't want to eat the wings, he can be the no. No, and I'm going to tell you why, because my sister is probably going to be the interviewer, and she has already said that she only anticipates getting through 4 of the 10 wings.
Is Shorty going to eat?
She said she wants to participate.
Okay. All right, cool.
So I'll tell you right now, get Nicole to sit there and say she'll drive you home.
She's going to be out of town.
On the 18th?
Yeah, she's leaving on the 18th.
She's going to my place.
She's going to. No, I can't because I got to work. I got to work Saturday morning. I got to facilitate classes at 9 and 11. So I'll probably come and I'll just have to drive home. But
dude, well, I want you there. Like we need you.
And I have to.
And
I have a show.
I want you there. I need you there. Like literally. Like this is big. Like he already got the 10 sauces in. Like it's a done deal.
I know, but you got to remember too. I got a show Saturday. I can't be burning up my vocal cords trying to eat these damn wings. With the acid reflux that's going to happen with that shit.
It'll be over by like Saturday morning because it'll shit you out. I'm sure.
All right. Well, anyway.
Hey, so I don't know if we talked about this like a lot, but we all know that I had COVID last week, right?
Yes.
You know, I've lost like 12 pounds.
I wouldn't doubt it. You probably weren't eating.
Well, I'm still not eating. Like, you know what I ate today?
What was that?
I literally so interestingly enough, and one of the things that I will absolutely sit there and say is amazing is like Healthy Choice and Lean Cuisine have both come out with like microwavable meals, right? And I don't like to cook. And I'm single, so like why should I actually sit there and try to cook for myself, right? You know what I mean, right? But they have different meals. Like today, I had a carne asada bowl that had yellow squash and everything else in it. It was totally made to be like a carb low meal, 8 grams of carbs, whatever. And I was blown away by it. I was very impressed by the meal. And I went out and I bought like, I don't know, for a week's worth, I bought like a week's worth of different meals like that, as well as buying, like sandwich meats and everything else, you know what I'm talking about. When you go out and you buy like the package of Oscar Mayer, like turkey or whatever.
Yeah.
But the fact that like I bought these 11-ounce meals that were all like, hey, this is enough food to sustain you. And I haven't been hungry. Like, that's pretty impressive because they're also super low carb, which means my body is also sitting there eating up all of the fat and everything else. So since I had COVID, I've lost 10 pounds.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. Right.
Nice.
Like, I don't know if you noticed, but you can actually almost see it right here already.
Yeah.
And I say that, but the amazing thing is that I'm not ever hungry right now.
I think too.
Go ahead.
It's not only just the COVID, it's what's going on with you too. I think it's why you're not having that much of appetite either. I know
Jesus, you really want to talk about this, don't you?
Well, yeah, we need to get it out because if not, it's going to be the whole show. Because you almost broke down twice a little bit ago, and I saw it. So I'm like, we need to. Yeah, this.
No, I think I've been holding myself together pretty good so far.
Yeah, well, it's up to you. We can go do Royal Rumble, and then we can go on and get the Royal Rumble.
I mean, the Royal Rumble is going to get kind of emotional for me. So,
oh Jesus Christ!
No, let's. You know what? If I get emotional, we'll do it towards the end. But let's go ahead and talk about stuff like Dynamite.
I remember Dynamite. Really,
really. All right. There's one major thing that you need to remember from Dynamite.
There is one match that I called, and I
go ahead.
I called it.
Go ahead.
The lights out match. Remember, I told you they don't want to damage Adam Cole, I guess his winning record. They were going to let Orange Cassidy get the win at that lights out match because it wouldn't hurt Adam Cole. And
what did I ask you during that? I said, would Adam Cole losing actually mean that he lost a match? And you said no, because it's a lights out match. And that's why we all agreed that, yeah, Orange Cassidy needed to win that match. And by the way, really good match.
And surprise.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about the surprise. But really good match, but not even the best match of the night. Because the best match of the night,
the ladder match,
was the ladder match between Cody Rhodes and Sammy Guevara. Which, by the way, why in the fuck would they even have a Sammy Guevara versus Cody Rhodes match for the third time if all you were going to do was give Sammy Guevara back the championship?
Well, you got to remember, they were supposed to meet at Battle of the Belts, and this probably was supposed to happen then. So this was to make up for Battle of the Belts.
But you know what I mean? Like, yes. Why have Sammy lose the belt at all? Like, Cody didn't need that to make him better. Sammy didn't need it to make him worse. Like, why would you sit there and have Sammy lose the belt to Cody? Cody then gets COVID, which is just like, all right, I get it. They give the belt back to Sammy because they give him the interim. And it almost makes me wonder whether or not that was the plan all along. Like whether or not he really had COVID.
I think
to have a dual belt ladder match. That's kind of what it felt like. Like, it felt like they sat there and said, well, you know, people get COVID and blah, blah. Because let's be real. I had COVID last week. You had COVID months ago. But I literally had it last week, and there's no way that 4 days later I'm having a ladder match. You know what I mean?
I don't think it was 4 days later.
Well, if we talk about Roman when he had it, he was on TV 4 days later. So that really was like 4 days. But you're right. Okay, let's say that's not the case. The fact, though, that like they were like, oh, let's keep Cody off TV for 2 weeks. Everybody's joking about whether or not his contract is up and this, that, and the other. And then they're like, oh, we give Sammy back the interim belt because he beat Dustin. Then all of a sudden they have to have another match. Now, granted, match easily best match of the night. Best match of the 3 nights if you go all the way to Rampage. But let's be real. Did we need to see like a 4th match between Sammy Guevara and Cody Rhodes at this point?
No, and like I said, I think that was just to make up for. I think the blow-off match was supposed to be at Battle of the Belts, and they couldn't have it.
Because you and I were actually live during the Cody versus Sammy Christmas night match.
Yeah.
And Sammy lost that match, and everybody and you and I literally looked at each other and we're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yep.
Like, why did Sammy lose this? And the only thing that we could all agree on is that, like, it was something that would make people tune in on Christmas night. That's the only thing.
Yes.
Like, we couldn't figure out any other way that would actually make sense or anything else. And that was what did that. And it all made us sit there and go, I don't know if I like that moment. Like you and I, we're sitting there at the end of the at the end of the rampage that we're watching, that we're live at, and Tony Khan brings out Hook, and we're happy that he brings out Hook, but we don't get anything that, like, is definitive saying this is why we did this. You know?
Yeah.
And we're all sitting there like, we love Hook. Like, send Hook. We're all. I mean, I got the sign right over there. I'll go grab it if everybody wants me to. But send Hook. And yet Hook comes out and he's like, just sucking on his lollipop, and then he walks.
No, that was at
both of them. That's what happened.
No, I think because he didn't bring him out at the end. He brought him out at the beginning.
He brought him out before the whole thing. Yeah, because remember the first no, because the Christmas
when Hook came out in Greensboro,
that was the Greensboro Christmas episode. You're right.
Yeah. So yeah.
However, he brought Hook out at the beginning, like right at the end of Dynamite, because we're all sitting there yelling, "Send Hook!" Even though, let's be real, was anybody really saying "Send Hook" before that, or did he? You know what I mean? Like we all did it for like 5 minutes, but we really wanted to see like Daniel Bryanson, or Bryan Danielson. We wanted to see Jon Moxley. We wanted to see those guys because we everybody in North Carolina had been to both shows. They'd already seen Hook. We wanted to see the top guys, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me I'm wrong.
We saw Bryan Danielson in Greensboro.
We saw him come out and he sat there in his white shirt and he said, "I'm not wrestling in this dirt town." And let's be real. That son of a bitch should have wrestled that night.
Yeah.
I mean, you
didn't hurt the show.
All right. So here's my issue with it. You ready? I'm going to tell you what my issue with it is. You have Tony Khan come out with David Crockett Jr., right? David Crockett Jr. gives the TV championship to the winner of the match. He talks about the history of pro wrestling in Greensboro, North Carolina, and how big and how massive the history of the wrestling in North Carolina is. And then Bryan Danielson says, "I'm not going to wrestle in this hick town." So why not have a dark match where Bryan Danielson actually has to wrestle in this hick town? Because he understands, and we all know that Bryan Danielson really does understand the importance of the North Carolina and Greensboro, North Carolina specifically, area of pro wrestling. But instead, no. What we get is send Hook. And they send Hook, and Hook comes out, and he's got his little thing in his mouth. And yeah, in Greensboro, he comes out, he goes down to the ring, he slaps Cody Rhodes in the face, and then they walk off, and nothing happens. Like, this is something where when the WWE wants to send you home, sorry to say it because, you know, like, everyone calls me a WWE mark, but when the WWE wants to send you home, Royal Rumble, Randy Orton comes down to the ring and he sends everybody home happy.
He got tossed.
But after the Rumble match, he came down, went to the crowd, sat there, and sent them home happy. Like, if you're going to try to send me home happy with Hook and Cody Rhodes sitting there saying, come on, guys, let's do this. We're off TV. You don't have to sit there and boo me. Have him not just sit there and slap him in the face, but have him hit them in the Taja Hajime or whatever the fuck they called it back in the day. Like, literally, have Hook get him in the hook hold or whatever they want to call it at this point.
They're calling it Red Rum.
The Red Rum?
That's what they're calling it, Red Rum.
What? Like, his literal name is Hook. You could sit there and say it's the Peter Pan. You could sit anything.
The Peter
Rum?
Pan. That's
the
why
Red Rum?
Peter Pan? Shut the fuck up. Peter Pan.
Either way. Is my point valid at least?
Yes.
You agree?
Yes.
Thank you. Because that's important. I really think it's important that you do see what I'm talking about here, because you obviously were there with me at both of those events, and while they were great events, I felt like the after hours, like this is what we're sending people home with, kind of let me down both times.
I can see that, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the send Hook, like the interesting thing about the send Hook thing is, were any of us talking about Hook after his second match? Because this third match was Greensboro. And we all sat there and we saw that match and we're like, send Hook, send Hook, send. And the reason why I ask is because, like, it really feels like what they're doing is the after crowd segment, getting the crowd to sit there and say, send Hook, right?
Right.
So that way, when, like, Dave Meltzer or anybody else, you know, the big guys, you know, like, unfortunately not us, but the big guys sit there and they're like, oh, they keep saying send Hook. Well, Hook is now on the advertisement for Revolution, which is the February pay-per-view. Who the fuck's he gonna face? It's got to be QT Marshall, right?
Could be or somebody from QT or somebody from QT's.
No, it's
squad.
Gotta be QT Marshall at this point, because QT is now the one sitting there calling him out. So if they want to build to that, they should have each of QT's guys lose to Hook, similar to what Bryan Danielson did with the Dark Order. Like, otherwise, if you sit there and say, oh, that guy with the hair that only has vision in one eye, that was like the professional boxer or whatever, is going to go up against you, Hook, I don't fucking care. Like, we've already seen Hook sit there and take out the leader of that division. He's literally grabbed him and done a suplex on him. So it's got to be Hook versus QT, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, that makes Hook a babyface.
Oh, the crowd's cheering. They're going to eventually have to turn him babyface.
We all know that they're cheering him. We're all cheering him. I'm cheering him, and I'm still sitting there. And you've heard me. I literally made a sign that said Hook fears scissors, because I'm a big fan of, like, good haircuts, as you can tell.
Hook versus Taz. That's what Barrett said.
I would love to see Taz come out of retirement and lose a match to his son. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. But at the same time, Hook sitting there and staying on Team Taz is a detriment to his character.
Yes.
So he's got to beat QT Marshall. And what I would love to see is like, what's his face? Ricky.
That's what I say. I'd like to see Ricky Starks put that belt up against Hook.
No. I would love to see Ricky sit there and offer him the belt to knock out his opponent, and Hook go and just Taja man. When it comes to QT Marshall wearing his bowling shirt. That dude literally wears the bowling shirt down to the ring. You know I'm right. But seriously, when it comes to that, wouldn't you rather see that? Because it, like, we're going to talk about the Royal Rumble, and we're going to talk about some storyline elements and everything else. Obviously, Monday Night Raw happened last night. But like, wouldn't you rather see something that makes it seem like it's like a natural progression storyline of Hook leaving Team Taz?
Yes.
And even if it's not, what if Team Taz breaks off with Taz and Hook? Like, I'm totally cool if Hook doesn't have the mic skills to have his dad sit there and be the guy that comes down and says, we're going to beat you, and you're going to survive if we let you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm down with that. Like, that literally, like, Hook suddenly changes his outfit to orange trunks with fucking black boots. I'm down. If they break off Team Taz and Team Taz sits there and goes, he's not good enough to be here. And before you know it, they're sitting there putting Taz in like a chokehold or something, and Hook's got to come down and save him. Like, that is a fucking amazing story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that is an amazing story. So, Team Taz is taking over. Come on, Chris Barrett. Come on. Team Taz will take over after everybody else retires. But let's continue. SmackDown. And from SmackDown, because I didn't actually create a little like visual for Royal Rumble, let's go ahead and talk about all of it. Tino, you ready?
Yep.
On SmackDown, was there anything worth noting? Not really.
Rollins did come back and do face to face with.
Oh right, he sat there and said, "I don't care about your uncles. I don't care about your nephews. I don't care about your kids. I don't care about your dad. I don't care." Like, none of them matter when it comes to like, you were part of the Shield. And what did he do? And you know what? Let me go ahead and try to update this real quick. We'll go ahead and we'll start it.
He mentioned Mox.
He did. So 2 weeks in a row, he actually mentioned Moxley rather than mentioning Dean Ambrose. So let's go ahead and just jump right in.
This motherfucker came out.
So what match opened the Royal Rumble?
It was that match. It was Seth and Roman.
It was. Now, did that or did that not surprise you?
It didn't, because I figured it was going to have something to do with it with the Brock Lashley match. If something went funky, I figured either Brock was going to interfere with that one, or Roman was going to interfere in Brock. So it didn't surprise me that match came on first.
Sure.
And Roman's got the whole, I'm going to either go first or I'm going to go last. So, you know.
And I think that's fair.
Now, Roman came out normal. This motherfucker, Seth Rollins.
Roman didn't just come out normal. Hold on. Roman came out wearing the beads.
Yes.
And he came out, and he walked all the way down to the ring, and he held that belt up. And you looked at him, and you were like, this guy's confident in what he's getting ready to do. And then, go ahead.
Sierra, Hotel, Echo. Like, what the fuck?
Shield, Echo, Hotel.
And then the fucking music hit, and he
Bought
came
up,
down through the
bump,
crowd
bump,
in his
bump.
damn
Now-
Shield gear.
Now, you know what my problem was with this?
I loved it. It was,
I had two
it was
problems.
that was more mind games and
I
getting
had
in the
two
Roman's
problems
head.
with it. I had two problems. One, Seth Rollins did not come down with a yellow stripe in his hair. Because when he was, every time he was part of the Shield, he had that yellow stripe, right? So
Okay.
I was hoping they were going to put that yellow stripe in his hair. And then number two was that, like, when this happened, when that music hit, I was hoping he would come down like Seth Rollins in the Shield, but no, he came down as
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, and I
I
hate
didn't like that either.
that this character does not mean anything to me. Like, he literally doesn't mean anything.
He's trying to show an unhinged version of himself. I didn't mind him not having the yellows. I didn't even think about having that blonde streak in his head.
But dude, that yellow streak in his hair would have been like, oh my god, right?
I did have the problem with him coming down with this new character and dancing down. Yeah, you're right. He should have come down. He should have come down old school style if he was going to do that.
Yeah, no, like
that's the only problem I had with it. I loved it. I loved it though.
Like him come out and be like, sit there, give a couple people some like you know, like a couple, and then just walk down.
And he actually hung with Roman.
That surprise.
He was beating Roman's ass.
Does that surprise?
No.
And why is that? That literally is because the WWE is like, hey, we want to make this look like Seth really has a chance. When we all know Seth didn't have a chance, right?
I don't know. I really thought I was hoping he would take that belt from Roman.
And based on like what you know, Wrestling Observer and everybody else were talking about, they all said, oh, if anybody's going to take it, it's going to be Seth and blah, blah, blah. Seth hasn't lost it. But let's be real. Let's be real. I'm not saying that I liked the rest of the booking of Royal Rumble, but the way Roman Reigns has been booked for the last year and a half, there is no way he was losing this match.
But to come down to it, Roman has improved. Roman's a good wrestler. Seth's better.
No, obviously not. Like
in the script, the way they wrote it Saturday night, he's not.
Well, hold on. Even still, like, okay. So everybody out there in the audience right now, you guys all watched the match. They show Charles Robinson actually picking up the hand and tossing it onto the rope. So Roman Reigns was not wrong for holding on to the hold that he did, because Charles Robinson is the one that actually like tried to stop that hold. Otherwise, Seth Rollins would have had to tap out. There's no other explanation there. Am I wrong?
I don't think he threw his hand on it. I think that was part
no,
of it.
Dude. He literally, when he let go of that hand, it landed on the ropes. That hand would not have ever touched the ropes if he hadn't picked it up.
It wouldn't have gone down, though. It'd have been one of those, his hand was going to hit and he was going to.
But we've gotten away from the 3-count drop.
But you just said
we've gotten away from the 3-count drop. What I'm saying is this.
No, you said Robinson put his hand on the rope.
Stop. I'm telling you right now. If he had never picked that hand up, that arm would have dragged and been dead. And in other matches in WWE history, they would have just gone, he's out. Call that match. That hand never touched the ropes at that point. Charles Robinson, Little Nate, picks that arm up and drops it, and it lands on the ropes.
Okay. We'll agree.
Also, by the way, I want to go ahead and point out. Let's go ahead and talk about the Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley match. Can we do that?
We're skipping. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna skip because I want to talk about one specific moment that truly kind of to me defines which belt is more important. And I don't know if you even noticed it. You ready? All right. We had the Roman and Seth match, and we see how that ended. Disqualification. Roman had to have the Shield smack Seth in the back and like 15 chair shots. Reminder of who ended the Shield and all that. However, when we got to the Brock versus Bobby match, we got towards the end. We got that moment where Bobby had Brock like this. He had him like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
What did happen? How did he come out of that?
He didn't.
Oh! Roman ran down.
Roman runs down.
No. First, he did break it. I think he ran him to the ref. That's when the ref took a bump.
Well, and then he hit an F5, which knocked the ref out.
And he got up to look and see what the ref was.
And then he got a 10 count. Right? Got the 10 count. But then after the 10 count, Roman Reigns was in the ring, speared him. And then Roman Reigns walked over to Paul and went like this. Right? Went like this. Paul sat there and looked at him, looked kind of like confused for a second, and then just put that big shit-eating grin smile that Paul Heyman does.
I think he even smiled when he did it. He still looked scared when he handed him the belt. But I think I know where you're going. Yeah. I know where you're going with this.
But then he handed the belt to Roman.
I know where you're going with it.
Hands the belt to Roman. What does Roman do?
He looked at it like.
No, he did, but what else did he do?
He hit Brock in the face with it.
And then what did he do?
Walked away. He walked away with Paul Heyman.
Belt.
Huh?
What did he do with the belt?
He just threw it down, didn't he?
No. Remember. Like you just said, he looked at the belt in disgust, right? Then he hit Brock with the belt. And then he looked at the belt again and threw it on the ground.
Yeah, he threw it.
He basically said, that belt means nothing to me. Like, he literally took that belt and said, this thing is garbage.
Yeah, because he's a universal.
Bobby Lashley pins Brock Lesnar 1, 2, 3. Monday Night Raw comes around. We'll go ahead and we'll talk about this a little bit more, I'm sure. But Monday Night Raw comes around, and Bobby Lashley's like, I beat Brock Lesnar. I did this. I did. Now, at the Rumble, if you saw Bobby Lashley was high-fiving fans and everything.
Smiling.
As a babyface.
Yep. And that's
totally babyface. He comes out Monday night, and what happens?
Heel.
He's a fucking heel. Like, they don't know what to do with him. They literally don't know what to do with that guy. And it's fucking insane. So, it's just how I feel about it. But, continuing about the Rumble.
There's one spot I want to talk about in the Rumble. And before I forget about it while it's fresh.
Men's or women's?
Men's. While it's fresh in my mind.
Kofi Kingston.
No. Well, yeah, that pissed me off too. But
didn't piss me off at all, and I'll tell you why. But we'll go.
When Omos slapped Ricochet in the chest, out the air. And Ricochet just landed. That sound, it sounded like he smacked Ricochet's soul out of his body. It was like, I mean, you
So
heard
what
it.
you're saying is it looked like that moment in Spider-Man Far From Home when Doctor Strange hits him and you see Peter Parker come out of
Yes,
Spider-Man?
yes, yes. And if that match was that movie, that would have happened. Did you hear that? Did you hear it when he connected? It was like, oh my God. It's like a damn gunshot went off.
Yeah.
But yeah, that part. Why did the Kofi Kingston part? I was like I said, that aggravated the piss out of me.
What about Kofi Kingston?
It pissed me off because you could tell it was fucked up. He was supposed to. That was supposed to be his how he does the get back in the ring. His feet never touched the floor.
So you obviously missed my tweet that night, like before, like when I gave my predictions, right?
No.
Because my predictions were, what if for a fucking first time, Kofi Kingston tries to get back in and can't? And what happens? Motherfucker actually like hits both feet on the ground, and Vince McMahon has to make a call on it backstage, and he goes, nope, he's out. And they gotta call it on the fly. Like literally, after 15 years of Kofi Kingston doing these crazy ass shits, I would rather he just gets tossed out of the ring. I would rather it because you're not expecting it at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I would be baffled. I'd be like, wait, no. Is there a way that Kofi? No, he's out. Okay, he's out. You know what I mean? However, there is no way in this fucking world, Tino, and I'm adamant about this. There's no way in this fucking world that Bad Bunny and Shane McMahon are two of the last 6 fucking people in the goddamn ring. There's no way. How the fuck does that happen?
Apparently there is.
Well, did you hear? Did you read it? Did you read about it?
Shane McMahon. Shane's got backstage heat because he tried to make the Rumble about him, but I didn't get to read the story.
So he's got backstage heat because he was the guy putting together the Royal Rumble. This motherfucker's been gone for 2 years. Why is he one of the last 3?
Because he's got the pencil.
Now, you tell me he's one of the last 3 because Kofi ended up getting knocked out. Maybe. Why the fuck is Bad Bunny still in there at number 6? Fucker's got 2 moves. Let him get his 2 moves in. Throw him the fuck out. Get him out of the fucking Rumble.
Because they wanted that Brock moment, I believe.
So I want you to sit here and answer me this. Did the WWE send out feelers to try to see who they could get to be special entrants into the Royal Rumble like usual and get told no based on all of the firings and layoffs and everything else? They could not get enough people to do it that they had. Now, Bad Bunny, I expected, okay? I even said, I think last week, that I expected Bad Bunny to be in there. Mm-hmm. But Shane McMahon, give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. Like, how could they not get Rob Van Dam that they just put into the Hall of Fame to show up in the Royal Rumble this year?
I don't think Van Dam's doing too
Who
hot.
cares? He'd be better than fucking Shane McMahon.
Well, now Shane McMahon still got the moves. I don't think Van Dam can move like he used to.
Why not get X-Pac?
Because I don't think they really like X-Pac either.
He's a Triple H guy.
And where's Triple H?
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Wow. No, you might be right there. Folks, go ahead and comment. But wow, that's whew. You got me there. I don't know though, because I think Peacock just posted something about like Scott Hall and Kevin Nash and all these other, like, how do you not get those guys?
Yeah.
How do you get Bad Bunny and you don't get fucking Booker T? He did a song called Booker T.
Trailer wasn't HBO.
What's that?
Who's Trailer? I'm looking at Chris Barrett. I think Vince likes Trailer. Trailer was an HBK guy before he was a Triple H guy. Who the hell's Trailer?
I don't know. Let's see what else we got.
The women's. Well, no, we got to do the Grit couple versus the It couple.
I'm gonna let you talk about this because I was actually distracted.
Dude, I'm just saying that.
Can I say what the number one thing that I did not like about it was?
What's that? Don't say Beth's hair.
God damn it, that was actually it.
Don't say Beth's hair.
You know it's not. You know that's my number one problem, and I'm going to tell you why though. Beth Phoenix is a extremely attractive woman, and yet since she came back, they have literally done this weird like conehead bullshit haircut.
Well, I think it's because
hold on. Now I know that they posted the Luna Vachon pictures and everything else, and she said, "Thank you, Luna." I get that, but this is a very attractive woman, and they are doing everything they can to make her as unattractive as possible.
To go against Maurice, because Maurice is all, I'm so beautiful, I'm so beautiful. I think they were like,
so you know what?
Like, I don't need to be beautiful. I'm the Glamazon.
But bro, let's be real. Both of those women are gorgeous. Both of them. They are absolutely stunning. Now, they are different figures. You have Maurice, who is like the slim and slender goddess. And then you have Beth Phoenix, who is literally like the Roman athletic, like just still another goddess, right? Why the fuck would you ever sit there and try to make Beth Phoenix not look as attractive as the other one?
She doesn't need it. That wasn't the point of the match.
I didn't want to watch. I actually
you didn't want to watch because Beth Phoenix wasn't attractive. So you're that guy.
I am that guy. I love the memes that they had posted of like when Beth sits there and shows up in the picture and Edge is like, and it says like, when your wife sits there and says, how are you thinking about going to the arcade? And you know, you see him and he's like, you know, because you know what I mean? Like it's like that was an awesome meme. But at the same time, Beth Phoenix is a hot woman. Why sit there and try to make her look like something out of like Spartacus rather than just sit there and make her a hot woman?
Because the point of that match wasn't that she was a hot woman. The point of that match is she came to whip ass.
Bro, she's still a hot woman. So she should be showing her sexuality and showing her daughters that it's okay to be a hot woman rather than going, hey, I know I'm a hot woman when I want to be, but instead I'm going to sit there and dress up like a giant polar
but
bear.
on the flip side of that coin, she's also showing her daughters you don't have to be a Barbie doll like Maurice. You can still go out there and be who you are and be a badass woman.
Okay, you may actually have and I may have lined you up for that statement because you weren't ever going to come to that statement by yourself.
No, I'm coming to a statement that right now you're being sexist. There's no that match was not about hotness. That match was about wrestling. I didn't watch that match to watch
It couple and the Grit couple.
Exactly.
It's all about being sexy. Are you fucking kidding me?
the
Are
grit
you
couple.
fucking kidding me?
About
Tino,
grit,
seriously, are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm not. I'm kind of upset that you decided you didn't like a match because it wasn't tits and ass show because she didn't look hot. That had nothing to do with that fucking match.
So I'm not gonna say I didn't like the match or not, and I'll give you the answer why, because I didn't actually watch the match. I watched the end, and I'm glad who I thought should win won. It felt definitive, but at the same time, like, felt like a waste of all four people.
For what it was worth and for what it was, it filled
agree.
a spot. It filled a spot that they needed in the Royal Rumble. It filled a spot that that.
So here's what I liked about it.
Because
I liked the fact that, like, it gave all four of those people a high moment in the pay-per-view, because it was right before the men's main event. It was after all of the other matches. It was the last match to go on before the men's pay-per-view, right?
Right.
So I'm down with that. And I think it really highlighted all four members of the match. And here's why I say that. A lot of people sit there and go, oh, I can't believe they're bringing Maurice back as a wrestler. I can't believe they're bringing Maurice back because and Jason, who obviously hangs out with us and talks to us about this stuff all the time, sits there and says he hates the fact that Maurice is a 2-time women's champion. So when you see her in a match like this against two people that can hold their own, an Edge and a Beth Phoenix, you really get to see what kind of grit you get from a Maurice. Am I right?
Even though she was ducking and dodging?
Always. But
yes.
I will say this, it was still a better match than when her and Miz went up against Bryan Danielson and Brie. Because that match kind of felt like she literally just hung out in the corner and didn't do anything. Like, here she at least looked like she was part of the match.
Agreed. I agree with that one.
And at the same time, those who were expected to win won the match. Right?
Right.
Which is great, because it now means, although interestingly enough, I thought that Edge would have been entered into the Elimination Chamber, and he's not.
Is he? No, he's not.
He's not.
He's not. They gave it to motherfucking the dude that's
Austin
up
Theory.
ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dominic. Was it Dominic or Ray?
So, Chris Barrett, I'm going to sit there and tell you that while Maurice was actually a 2-time Divas champion, yes, she did have a abundance of 3-minute matches. However, she is a second-generation pro wrestler.
Yeah.
And before she ever just wanted to be someone hanging out in the pro wrestling world, she wanted to be a pro wrestler. So all these times that Jason sits there and tells me that Maurice is the worst women's champion of all time, that is not true. We had Kelly, we had Stacy Keibler, we had all the and I love looking at those two more than I love looking at almost any of them, Tino. Like, you know that. Kelly slapped me in the face.
Didn't Summer Rae
okay with that?
No one, Summer Rae didn't have a championship.
What?
I thought Summer Rae did too, but she didn't.
No, not Summer Rae. Christy Hemme and
was Hemme a champion?
Ashley Mazzaro.
That's right. Christy Hemme was a champion. I forgot about that.
Yes. All three of them slapped me in the face. But again, I'm pointing out that like I have no problem with Maurice in these moments because she steps up to the game.
I
Like,
just say, yeah.
like
Yeah.
at this point, if Triple H ever sat there and said, "I'm coming back for a final match," I would be okay if it was Triple H, Stephanie McMahon versus Miz and Maurice. I'd be okay with Triple H's final match being that.
Really?
Yeah. Because you know that if for whatever reason Triple H cannot carry his own, the Miz will carry him to a solid match. And Stephanie and Maurice can sit there and practice for a year to make sure they get their spots right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like look back at the Angle and Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie match.
Stephanie.
You know what I mean? Like I'm okay with that. I don't want it. I would rather you sit there and put them towards building the future or whatever, but I'm okay. So, all right. So, women's Royal Rumble match.
Yes. Because that had more surprises than the men's Royal Rumble matches.
It did. It did. And a lot of people actually blames Shane McMahon on that, by the way.
Really?
But I already told you, I think that the real problem behind that is the fact that where they ran into the problem was they let a lot of guys go. And then when they called them back up and said, "Hey, do you want to be in the Rumble?" They were like, "Fuck you." Like,
and that's probably how that conversation went.
I bet it did. Like, I bet Keith Lee was called about the Royal Rumble and he was like, "Y'all released me. Fuck you." Like,
Jeff
I'm going to show you that I can be limitless. You know, like, and Johnny Ace was like, "All right, I'll go ahead. I'll get off the phone with you." You know what I mean? Like, that's it.
They fucked up.
And that's why I think Shane McMahon was a last-minute call in the pay-per-view. Like, shit, we got 29. We don't have a 30. Here's the funny thing about that, Tino. You got 29, right? Would anybody care? 5, 4, 3, 2. Brock Lesnar comes down to the ring. Who the fuck cares about anybody else? Like, you know what I mean?
You knew it was going to happen.
Well, we all knew it felt like it was ominous based on the booking earlier in the night.
And when his music hit and he came out, I'm like, Lesnar's winning the Rumble.
However, can I go ahead and tell you how I would have changed the booking?
Okay.
And let me ask you, and let me ask everybody out there in the audience, do you think this would have been better booking? Bobby Lashley does one of these.
Right? Do this.
He goes like this. He gets him in the Hurt Lock. Paul Heyman throws in the towel. Brock doesn't look like he's beat up or anything. Like maybe he starts looking like he's fading or whatever the case might be. Paul throws in the towel. Referee calls for the bell. Brock Lesnar at this point is knocked out. Like, because Bobby actually held that Hurt Lock long enough to knock him out, right? Paul Heyman starts walking up the stage. No Roman Reigns at all. The commentators start sitting there going, "What just happened?"
Right.
Brock Lesnar didn't give up. Paul Heyman's walking up the stage. What is going on here? And then during like the Royal Rumble match, okay, so the men's Rumble, which happened after, they cut to Paul Heyman walking up to Roman Reigns' dressing room, but they cut before he walks in.
Okay.
Tell me, does that not give you like 6 weeks of programming?
Yeah, but I don't think they want to do that Willie or Willie thing again.
Are you
Willie or Warnie
kidding
thing.
me? The idea and the thought that like Paul Heyman may or may not have actually turned on Brock Lesnar even further goes through the Elimination Chamber. You don't have to have Brock in the Elimination Chamber. You don't have to have him sitting there going against Bobby Lashley in another match. You don't have to have any of that bullshit. And you literally have Paul Heyman sitting there going, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Wouldn't that be interesting? And it makes for a more compelling story. Every time. Every time. So, I want to ask you about the Women's Rumble.
Yeah.
Why the fuck did Molly Holly get the shit beat out of her by Nikki ASH, and then they don't follow it up on Monday night with a singles match? You were thinking the same thing, right? Fuck yeah! It's a fucking it's a WrestleMania match.
Or at least when she had that match, have Molly come down and interfere or jump her or something. Yes. Yes.
How did they not do that?
I think the funniest part of that match was when Ivory came down with the microphone. She had the microphone the whole time. and when Rhea had her on her shoulder.
Version of Ivory, by the way.
Huh?
The right to censor version of Ivory.
And Rhea had Ivory on her shoulder, and she's like, "What are you doing? Stop it! No!" And then she threw her on the floor. She goes, "How dare you?
How dare you?"
Oh,
at the same time, let me ask you this.
That made me laugh.
Did they do the right thing by having Lita throw out Impact champion Mickie James?
Yes, because they've had history. They've had a rivalry. You know what I mean? So I think yes, that because.
No, I like this. Go ahead.
If they ever decide they won't make it to come back, and they can have a temporary, maybe 2-3 month little thing with her and Lita.
Could do that. Let me go ahead and put a different spin on it. We all know how Mickie left the WWE the last time. So for her to sit there and say she was going to come back, I would say that she probably said she had some creative control on how she went out of the match, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm going to point out that, like, if, let's say, Rhea Ripley had thrown out Mickie James, Rhea Ripley would have had immediate heat. Like, immediate. She would have been, like the Molly Holly getting tossed out by Nikki ASH. It would have been nuclear heat. Like, there is no way to come back from that kind of heeldom, right?
No. Right.
So having Lita do it as a babyface legend allowed for her to sit there and do it and be like, oops. And I love the oops look on her face. And I immediately went, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Like, I didn't think I would be, but because it was Lita, who is a WWE Hall of Famer and the very first woman to main event a Monday Night Raw, I was totally fine with that moment. However, I would actually like, instead of Lita versus Becky Lynch at Elimination Chamber in Saudi Arabia, I would have liked a Mickie James versus Lita match because of it somewhere. And I know you can't do that. And I'm glad they were able to do it with Scott D'Amore and they got it approved and everything else. But you get what I mean.
Another part of that match I like too, my girl Alicia Fox was back. But when she
fucking crazy.
When she eliminated Melina, why is Alicia Fox in the ring doing a split And why is Melina on the floor doing a split? They're like having a split off. What the fuck is going on? Why is Melina bouncing up and down on the floor doing a split, trying to outsplit her on the floor?
So I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't see that part.
Oh my God, you got to go back and watch it. It was hilarious. They're just doing a split off. Alicia's in the ring.
I'm okay with it. I'm saying that I didn't see it because I was preoccupied. But
I liked that they had Sonya Deville on commentary. When Cameron came out, they're like, "Yeah, they used to be a tag team," and Sonya's like, "What? You mean they're friends?" And she went in there, whooped her ass, and threw her out. That added to that storyline. That, and then, of course, you knew the next contestant to come out was going to be Naomi. She ran and she checked on Carmen. Then she got in the ring, whooped Sonya's ass, and threw her out.
Which was great. And you know, like you and me, we remember when Cameron actually was asked, "What's your favorite match of all time?" and Stone Cold Steve Austin berated her.
Yeah, I forgot.
And then you see her come out, and it's funky gotta do, funky gotta do, and you're like, they're really doing the Funkadactyls music, really?
Yes. What's her name surprised me? Eric's wife.
Who?
The Viking Raiders' wife. What's her name? Sarah.
Oh, Sonya Deville coming back. Yeah, I was very
Sonya
surprised
Deville. Not Sonya Deville.
And I love the little moment between her and Liv Morgan.
Yeah, her name's not Sonya Deville. You said Sonya Deville. That's not her name. What's Sarah Logan?
I said Sarah Logan.
No, you said Sonya Deville. I'm like,
no, I said Sarah Logan.
Oh, okay. See, Chris Barrett said Sarah Logan.
I said Sarah Logan. I loved the her and Liv Morgan moment.
Yes.
I hated them getting tossed out by the Bella Twins.
Yes. So I sent you that clip of that guy.
Yes,
on the railing.
Talk about it.
So there's this clip on Twitter, and when who was it? Was it Bree threw out Nikki?
It was a guy literally sitting there front row
at the rail. He's looking down at Nikki with his camera phone. He goes, "Wow, that's your sister. How can she do that to you?" And she looks at him. She goes, "She's always been jealous, dude."
However, most reports actually said that Brie Bella was going to throw her sister out. Now, the weird thing about it was that Nikki Bella got tossed over the top rope, and she was standing there, and then Brie just looked at her and went, and just popped her.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like,
fucking
wow.
awesome. It was fucking awesome.
I mean, like I said, and he obviously had Lita come back, and her and Charlotte went at it.
I did not like the end of the women's match. I did. Here's my problem, Tino. Charlotte is now the Roman Reigns of the women's division.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean the Roman Reigns now because we like Roman Reigns now, right? We enjoy watching when the head of the table comes out, when the bloodline leader comes out and he holds up that championship belt, and you sit there and you look at him and you're like, what the like, this guy is just money, right? We look at Charlotte Flair and we're like, I'm fucking tired of her. I'm fucking tired of her. Her announcing that she was going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble so that I can choose my own opponent? Get the fuck out of here. That's fucking garbage.
Yeah, you knew that wasn't going to work.
Like, can't you literally, can't you put Stephanie McMahon in the ring? Like, literally. Like, the whole idea of having Charlotte Flair be the second to last person and have her eliminated. Oh, that means we're not going to get Becky versus Ronda. No, obviously we're not. Because they already decided that we're going to get Ronda versus Charlotte, and nobody gives a fuck. Nobody.
I would think
the
that she
fans
would go
blew up and exploded when Ronda came out. But I'm going to tell you, watching her in that ring,
She's heel.
she's heel, but I'm like, why am I watching this? It's fucking boring. She's like, and it looks like shit. It looks like shit.
Yeah.
And then she gets interviewed after the entire Rumble, and she goes, I'm not going to be fooled again by the audience reaction, which is great. That's a good heel move. But she says, my priorities have changed. I'm only worried about my baby and my bus. Okay, well, that's real, except for the fact that now we realize you don't care about that Mania match that you're now part of.
Yeah.
Tired of it, man. Like,
we'll see.
Like this is the difference between her and Brock. Because you look at the two of them and you go, they're both in the same kind of standing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brock is having fun.
Oh, yeah.
Brock is enjoying every moment he comes down. Like, his Monday night performance this week sold that show to me, bro.
Yeah.
Like, when he sat there and said, I'm in my gear. How about you and me, Bobby? We go ahead and we do this right now. And that place exploded better than when the Cincinnati Bengals won the football game on Saturday. Or Sunday, sorry. But it blew up bigger than that. And how do you blow a place bigger than that up? You have somebody like Brock, who is a legit badass, tell another legit badass, I'm going to beat your ass legitimately tonight. And then they don't do it. I'm
going to save it.
Should Brock have won the Royal Rumble?
They had to because they had to get back to. He was supposed to face Roman at the pay-per-view, and he probably was going to get the belt then. So they got they're saving face just like they did just like they're doing with the what are you pointing at?
I'm stopping you because he could have won an Elimination Chamber match to go against Roman.
Yeah.
Didn't need to win the Elimination Chamber match against Bobby Lashley to make it a title for title. But now that they keep talking about that, I want to ask you this. Now that they keep talking about that,
what?
Is it a foregone conclusion that Brock Lesnar wins the world title and they have Brock versus Roman title for title? Because it feels like if Brock keeps talking about that better well happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is. It's like almost 2 hour mark.
We're at 138. We're okay. Last night, Monday Night Raw. Riddle, AJ Styles, Austin Theory, Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, and Bobby Lashley for the World Heavyweight title inside the Elimination Chamber. It's going to be a fun match.
Yes.
But the first thing I ask is, how the fuck did Austin Theory cleanly beat Kevin Owens?
I've given up on Owens.
So I don't give up on him, but the theory online is he does not go to Saudi Arabia.
Neither does Sammy.
Right, but Sammy's on SmackDown. Right. So we'll see how he doesn't go to Saudi Arabia on Friday. But giving Austin Theory the victory against Kevin Owens clean is kind of like smack in the face to Kevin Owens, but also a really big bump for Austin Theory. And the reason why I say that is because a week ago, AJ Styles beat Austin Theory clean in the ring. And you would think that AJ Styles and Kevin Owens are about the same level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would think that if The Undertaker was coming back for one more match, you could get AJ Styles or Kevin Owens and put them against The Undertaker, and you'd be like, that'll be a fun match.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Matt Riddle being in this match, knowing that the original rumor for the Royal Rumble was that Matt Riddle would win the Royal Rumble, though that's now being debunked by online services or whatever. I like Matt Riddle and Austin Theory being in this match, by the way.
Yes.
I do. I like them being in this match because the WWE is talking all the time about how they need to they need to create new characters, and unfortunately they've gone back to the 80s model of creating characters and tried to put a, you know, like Duke the Dumpster Droese feel on all of their characters. But at the same time, like, you have two of the youngest and yet most over people being in the matches that are most important before WrestleMania. And I think that that's huge. You know? I would anticipate that they'll announce a women's Elimination Chamber match as well. Maybe not. But if they do, I kind of assume people like Liv Morgan will be in that match and have their say in Saudi Arabia. But yeah, I'm kind of impressed with what they've put together so far for it, especially with Becky Lynch versus Lita. Like, yeah, obviously the Sheik is sitting there saying, "Hey, I like all of the Attitude Era stars, so how about you start getting some of the women here too?"
Yeah.
And obviously, like, if you sit there and you say to someone like Lita, "Hey, what do you think about the idea of wrestling in Saudi Arabia?" She's sitting there going, "I didn't think that would ever be a possibility," so she's not going to turn it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's cool on our part. By the way, if you want to do the wing challenge, you are in. Shane sent me a text message saying that you're good.
Oh.
So you're coming February 18th. Cancel all other events. You're going to eat all of the wings that I do. We're both going to cry. We'll probably go to the hospital. No, you have to be there, Tino.
I'll be there. I never said
this will be a special episode of the Potsy and Tino show. You've got to be there. You got to.
I never said I wasn't going to come. I just said
gonna eat the wings. Gonna eat the wings.
Yeah,
do it.
That we might have to disagree.
Would you really not do it for just like showing people what you're capable of?
We'll see.
So what else you want to talk about? You want to talk about the stuff?
Yeah, go for it. Can you do it in? Yeah, go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
What, in 15 minutes?
Yeah, go ahead, because we can now we can see what these other guys think too. I told you what I think, and I'm right. By the way,
I don't know what you're talking about. Why don't you go ahead and ask like simple questions to try to like let people in on what's going on?
No, so just tell them what's been going on over. Been going on for about a month now. Over a month, 2 months.
I guess 2 months.
Yeah, a couple weeks before Christmas.
What that I actually opened up my emotional bank account and and let somebody in? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
So all right, so everybody everybody probably doesn't know, but I've been single for a really long time. Right? So somehow I started talking to and hanging out with an attractive young lady, and yeah, and then I asked Tino last week whether or not I should stop trying to talk to her, because after really like a month of not really communicating with her, uh, whether or not I should still try. And then I just happened to be out drawing one night like I normally do. I go out and I take my iPad and I sit there, and I'm filming this on the iPad so I can't show everybody, but I was out with my iPad sitting there drawing, talking to another buddy of mine who was impressed with the fact that like how much artwork you could actually do with the iPad and everything, and I got tapped on the shoulder, and it was her. And suddenly, before I knew it, she left the group that she was hanging out with, wanted to hang out with me, and yeah. So where are we going with this whole story, Tino?
So
Because you seem completely baffled at the moment.
I mean, just what happened? I mean, you guys had a conversation. You thought she had something, and then she.
Things seemed really good. We hung out for a pretty long time, and I got shut down. And here's what's and I just said I got shut down. It's I like most people that know me, and this is how real I am with our show. Most people that know me know that I don't let my emotions out very far, well, whatever the case might be, and my emotions kind of, the easiest way to describe it is if I were to have one of those jars of peanuts that you would sit there and try to twist off the top, like all of a sudden, like the fake snakes would pop out. Like that's what's going on with me right now. I legitimately am like trying to figure out a way, because Tino's known me longer than I was married, divorced, and everything else. He also sits there and thinks that his psychology degree can sit there and give him insight as to how I should or what in terms of my acting here. And you have to admit that I've held it together better than you anticipated tonight.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. And the reason why is because, like, as I get further down the road from all of this, I obviously will be putting those snakes back in the container and tying it up really tight. So of course, later on down the line, I will open up the container and there go all my emotions again, because that's what happens. Because I don't try to be an emotional person. I don't try to let people in.
And that's what I told. That's what I was telling you earlier. I mean, this chick, she hurt your feelings, but you cannot close yourself off to the possibility later. You can't punish the next one for what this one did. I guess is what I'm saying.
And I guess the important message here is that, like, I'm willing to sit there and show everybody that, like, I have a sensitive side. I have a moment of getting beaten up, whatever the case might be. It's tough for me though, because like I did I tell you the joke, Tino, that like I feel like I'm not the hero of my own story because I don't ever get the girl.
No, you didn't tell me that.
See, he's laughing at that, folks. That means he knows. He knows.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'll also say that like I feel like that moment in Spider-Man Far From Home where Ned's going like this. You've seen it, right, Tina?
Yeah.
When he goes like this and he's like, "Find us, Peter Parker."
Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting there like hoping someone's gonna go find Rob, somebody that cares about him, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like, and I don't want this at all, but like literally, my ex-wife ends up liking one of my Facebook or my Instagram posts. Like, why is that a thing? Like how does that happen? Like literally within like this week of all this weird shit going on, that happens.
She did it again.
Just like 2 days ago.
Oh shit.
Like I literally posted something and then boom, there it is. And I'm like, how the what? Why? Like, can I get now in context, the person that I would like to have actually sit there and like those posts does not follow me on Instagram. So it's okay that they did not follow or post or like click okay, But the fact that my ex-wife actually did like the post kind of sat there and had me going, are you fucking serious?
Yep.
Are you looking it up right now?
Yep.
Is that what you're doing? That's what he's doing, folks. He's literally looking up the post. But
wow.
But I tend to look at myself as a great judge of character. I know when people are good people. I also am really good, and in a different life, I probably would have been a private investigator. Like I really think that that's what I'm most qualified to do in terms of like knowing how people act, knowing how they react and everything else. But you guys, everybody out there that watches our show knows how much I overthink things. Tino's sitting there saying, just try to go to bed. Just try to sleep. Just try to get away from it. And interestingly enough, my sleep has not been affected by it. Like I've been able to sleep, which is impressive, because normally when I feel like this, I am not able to sleep an iota. But at the same time, I am overthinking things to the point of splitting the fucking atom. Which means I am almost creating a nuclear device in my own head to explode everything. And I love that Tino wanted me to sit here and talk about this tonight, because he wanted me to talk about it. I wasn't really going to break it down, but
she didn't get out. She need to get it out.
And I think he wanted me to do it more so because he wanted me to get it out, but more so on top of that was because he didn't think I was going to keep it together tonight.
And that worried me, because I talked to you on the way, and we've texted for a couple of days, and that one text you sent me, I was like,
I tried to explain it like this. Like, I've already told everybody that and I said it here, that I feel like the prankster that's trying to put the fake snakes back in the container. And the reason why is because, like, I don't allow myself to feel like that. Chris Barrett says you need more of that cooking sherry. I wish that was the case. Come on, Rob, read between the lines. I do, Chris Barrett, just so you know. Read between the lines very, very well. I am a amazing judge of not just character, but also of like body language. And without ever reading books about it or anything else, I just typically know what people want, need, anything else. And by the way, it's made me a great salesperson in my life. But at the same time, like it's one of those things where like when you feel like you know what somebody wants and then they go a different direction, it's like it throws you off because you someone who understands body language and what the feelings are and the looks that you're getting and everything else, you kind of feel like there's one path.
Yep.
And then sometimes somebody just sits there and shuts that path down, and you're like, why did the path get shut down? And there's no easy way to say it. So I'm currently doing everything I can to remind myself of all the good things going on in my life. You know, Mandalorian coming out February 9th. Make sure you stop at your local comic shop. Junior High Horrors, Karate Kai coming out February 16th.
WWE 22K.
I could care less about it. But seriously, like knowing that we're doing the wing challenge. I don't know, man. Like I'm at a point in my life where I really like Tino knows this. Tino's known me for what, 20 years, 22 years with
It's a long damn time.
like I mean, old enough to drink. We've known each other like by itself.
Was it you or Fubar? You were just barely 21. It was a Fubar.
Fubar wasn't. So, but like I'm 44. So, I mean, we're talking 23 years that I've known you at this point. And in that time, Tino's seen me married. He's seen me divorced. He's seen all that. And like I said, like I joked, he's got a psychology degree. So he thinks he can tell me how I feel and everything. But I'm not the type of person after my divorce to where I open up, let anything out, try to let people know what's going on with me. And I do with certain people. Tino knows almost everything about me. My brother-in-law Shane knows almost everything about me. My buddy Edge knows almost everything about me. And hopefully all three of them are going to be at the Wing Challenge. But at the same time, the reason why I don't really open up is because the last time I did, it wrecked me. It was destructive. And Tino admitted I'm not nearly that.
Yeah. You see Chris Bear. Look, put up Chris Bear's last name.
Damn you two. You've been friends longer than I've been. Yes. No, Chris Bear, you've been 23 years. I know how long you've been alive.
He's 22.
I thought he just turned 23.
He turned 22.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. That'll teach you. Go out and find yourself some lifelong friends that came out of the womb at the same time.
See, he's 22.
But I all I can really say is that like I really do feel like when my emotions come out, they come out way too hard. Like it's you ever seen Vegas Vacation, Tino?
Yes.
When they go to the Hoover Dam
Yes.
and Chevy Chase puts like bubble gum on the thing to stop it. I feel like if Chevy Chase never put that bubble gum on it to stop it, that's what happens when I let emotions out. And it's not really true because like obviously I'm emotional. I let you know like when I feel something and people understand that I like I have emotions. I'm not the type of person that lets like I guess the best way to put it is that I'm not the type of person that's really tried to have a relationship with a significant other. And most of the reason is because I feel like and this is the God's honest truth for everybody, that I don't think that I would have time for them based on all the other stuff that I have going on.
Hmm.
So when I actually meet somebody or they meet me, because I was not the one initiating anything in terms of trying to meet this person, it hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
And Tino knows, like after a month of talking to this person, hanging out a couple times, not hearing from them, I sat there and told Tino that I was just going to stop talking to them entirely. And then just recently, like I just happened to be hanging out and my shoulder got tapped on, and before I knew it, I was pulled back in. It's like The Godfather 3, God damn it.
Oh God, here we go.
Once I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. No, I'm kidding. But I don't like, if anybody else ever feels like this, don't hesitate to sit there and reach out to us because I can tell you it's an odd moment. Like right now, I'm at a spot where I'm trying not to talk to her. And the reason why is because I don't want to influence whether or not she wants to talk to me. And it's odd because anybody who knows me, and you guys know me at this point, but anybody who knows me knows that anytime I feel like I have screwed something up, all I want to do is reach out and fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And Tino knows better than anybody else, but like right now, I'm thinking that space should be the most important thing between me and her. And yet, because of who I am, that's where the true struggle with everything is. Agreed, Tino?
I agree.
Do you feel like you gave me my psychological profiling and testing and everything else tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
No, folks, I want to go ahead and thank everybody for being a part of our show. Obviously, we talked about pro wrestling, talked about what's going on with us. We got a lot of cool stuff. Like I'm still trying to talk Tino into coming to the wing eating.
Oh, I'm coming.
Oh, you're gonna eat them. No, if you show up, you're eating them.
No.
Doing the Hot Ones challenge. I open up to our fans and our listeners, our viewers, everything else more than I would care to admit.
Mm.
And right now I like you guys, like when my buddy Chris passed away, I broke down. I started crying on the air. I'm not one of those people that really holds back against that or anything. We talked about Rob's emotional damage, but we love thank you, Chris Barrett. That means a lot. But I want to let everybody know that, like, it's okay to feel this way. It's okay to feel like I don't even know what the situation is in that. Like, when the finality finally happens, one way or another, like, I don't know what the deal is. I'm leaving it alone right now so that I can let her make a decision, which is smart. I don't know. I really don't know. But like, we're here as the Potsy and Tino show. If you feel like you ever don't have anybody to talk to about anything like that, we don't want you to make any rash decisions or do anything wrong for hurtful to yourself or anything else. Like we're here.
Yes.
Tino actually works in that field now. Like that is legitimately something that he is out there to do. So if you feel like nobody's out there for you, don't make a rash decision or anything. Reach out to us. Like we care about every single person that watches our show. At the same time, like, I am hurting right now. I'm down. I don't normally allow myself to feel like this. And it's I'm glad you're laughing. Thanks, asshole.
I was laughing at Chris Barrett. I'm sorry. Chris
Dr.
Barrett.
Tino Gray.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I saw the message, but the fact that I had just sat there and said, I'm down, I'm feeling hurt, and
I know.
it's like fuck you, asshole. But no, but I, like, literally, Tino knows. Like I don't open up to people. Like, if you're in my inner circle, and by the way, anybody on this show is closer in my inner circle than people that know me outside. And the reason why is because, like, I'm willing to sit there and say just about anything here. Like, there's no reason not to. I want subscribers. I want people to sit there and like the show and do all that and whatever. But the fact remains that, like, I talk more on this than I do to anybody in my real life. And the reason why is because it's just one of those things where, like, I care about each and every one of you, and I want this show to be as real as real. Like, I want everybody out there that listens to me and Tino to know that we're not bullshitting you.
Mm-mm.
So, and that's about it. I'm not gonna break it. Like, I'm not gonna break it down any further, because at this point, if I do, I will have to turn my camera off. So,
all right. Well, let's cue it up and get ready to get out of here.
All right. Let me find an outro.
Because I want to go to sleep.
I know you do. Well, you can go ahead and start telling people, like, how to reach us.
Hey, what's up, man? This is Hop.
Teddy Long wants to tell us that he's
Tell us.
Hold on. Oh.
In a world.
All right, I got it.
All right.
Ready.
So we want to say thanks for checking us out, ladies and gentlemen. As always, you can catch us on the Twitter machine at the Potsy and Tino. Facebook, we're the Potsy and Tino show. On Twitter, he is at PotChat. I am Hootie Fan. I get my handle.
Now, if you really want to know what's been going on with me, go ahead and take a look at Twitter, because
I'm Hootie Fan 95 on the Insta. He is Rob Potsy. He is Rob Potcheck. I am SC Tino on the TikTok. He is Rob Potsy Podcheck. We want to say thank you as always to Adam's House Cats for our theme song, the wrestling song. You can catch that on iTunes for 99 cents. And as always, we are out of here. And we're always like the Macho Man. We are thinking. Oh, yeah. Dang it.
Folks, everyone have a wonderful night. And subscribe to the channel. Do all that stuff. Give us
our shit.
Buy our shit. We need to come up with more shit. But yeah. And with that...